What up, YouTube? It's your boy, Detroit Love, with a live video. Hey, I know everybody is busy, so I don't really expect anybody to really be here, but I've been pretty had released a very low volume of videos for this year, so I wanted to cap off the year with a final video, just to say thank you guys. Thank you for supporting me this year. Thanks for coming by, and it's just been an incredible year. The year's just been filled with this virus going around, and we're not really getting a whole lot of interaction like we wanted to. Not as many people in our game rooms as we would have liked to have had, but we've been blessed nevertheless. And so I just wanted to come back and just reflect on the year when it comes to my game room because um, hey, I didn't realize the game room really changed quite a bit this year, and so just wanted to go over that. I'm just curious as to what you guys have experienced, what type of growth you guys have experienced in your own game room. So in the comments section, make sure what up, Mark Whitman is in the house. Um, just curious how you guys have your game rooms have transpired, have grown, have changed over the years, over this year. Uh, and so, just get everything here together. Because when I was looking back, I'm like, man, this is my game room have really changed quite a bit without me even realizing that. And because so many things has happened this year, I didn't realize it all happened this year. So uh, it's been pretty crazy. Let me just put that up there. What up, Mark? Thanks for coming by. Happy New Year. Um, and so I'm just going to look back at last year. I mean, last year was my game room was missing quite a few pieces, and I didn't realize the new additions all came in this year. So last year, my game room included my modified arcade one up Street Fighter 2. That's the OG. That's the one that started it all. And I had it. I had my modified Galaga, arcade one up Galaga. Those two machines alone, I can play just about any game. Both of those are modified. Both of those have coin doors. Both of those are really like what arcade arcade one up uh, 3/4 scale machine should be. I understand their whole motto is no quarters, but arcades, man, the quarters was an essential part of the arcade. These are home arcades, so I understand why they don't put it, as well as the expense to have it, to include it. So I understand why they don't have it. Um, what up? What up? Giovanni is in the house. Um, says I have arcade one up, IRRK, MVS, MVSX, and yet to buy a Legends Ultimate. Uh, so that is good. Good to have you here. Mark said his has already changed. He added 5 caps. Um, so my third machine that I got was my Golden Tee. Oh man, I love that cabinet. Though I haven't played a lot because I've been playing my Nintendo Switch, and that golf. Obviously it's night and day between those two golf games. But they can't beat the convenience of having that thing right with you wherever you are. What up, Jimbo? Added 6 this year. Oh man, yeah, this was quite a year, man. I think this was the year of arcades. I think a lot of us added more than we really realized this year. Um, Last year, I actually added 5 things to my 6. Let's see. So I had the modified toy shock. So those are the 4 originals that I had prior to last year. So I had all of those 4 prior to last year, and then last year I added my NBA Jam, which is still my grandson's, but they keep shutting down the border. I thought I might make it over there this holiday, but they've shut down Ontario once again in the border. So I still have that NBA Jam, which I got June of last year. So I got the NBA Jam. I got my Miss Pac-Man Countercade last year, my Numbskull Pac-Man, the quarter scale, my At Games Legends Ultimate last year. Someone just mentioned they still hadn't gotten theirs. Who was that? That was Giovanni. Giovanni. Uh, Last year, I had just got my At Games Legend Ultimate. I didn't quite understand what the, why it was necessary to the game room. It took me a while to get on board with that, but I finally realized it. Todd, what up, Todd? Happy New Year, guys. He said he added 9 machines, he believed. Uh, he also says Happy New Year to everybody. Um, and then also I added the my Nintendo Switch last year to the game room, and my Act Games Legend. I'm sorry, my Act Games Legends Gamer Pro. It's a long name there. Jim says he started with the NBA Jam in February of this year and ended up with 11 with Tron just coming in Tuesday. And that Tron cabinet is awesome. I think you can see in my picture behind me. You see, I got Glenn's Tron stick on my At Games Legend Ultimate, and you can't play Tron without it, man. You can't play it well. What up, Hollywood? Polo is in the house. What you got? What you got? Happy New Year. What was my favorite one I added to my collection this year? So I'm just now getting into the ones that I added this year, and I didn't really uh, realize I added some of these things this year. So I'm just gonna write this down. What is the favorite? I'll hold off on answering that just yet. Ad this year. So what's my favorite ad this year? So we'll get to that. So I didn't realize because we talk about this stuff so much. I just got the IRK cabinet this year. It didn't exist prior to this year, uh, and so the IRK I had gotten in on the group share thing. I can't think which one it was. Kickstarter, I believe it was Kickstarter. Um, and I didn't get that and assemble that until this year. Let's see what. So Giovanni says, so far I have 8, but I just can't justify paying high prices for the recent cabinets. Yeah, they've definitely gone up. Mark Whitman says, I modded my Rampage to a Stargate and modded the 40th Defender to a real Defender. Man, I definitely Defender and Stargate. Those games were, man, the guys that could play those games, they would kick butt. If you put your quarter on the glass on one of those two cabinets, you were gonna be there a while. Because those guys, the guys that loved those games, could play those things for hours. I myself, while I like those games, I never gave it too many quarters because I would just run through quarters really quickly, trying to save. What were they picking up? Mark, what were they? What is that thing that is called that they're picking up? Are those supposed to be people? I never really remember quite what we were trying to save with Defender and Stargate. But Defender was the original one. Stargate was the updated one, sort of like Centipede, and they came out with Millipede. So it's that same type of thing. Very awesome games. I understand the buttons on the Rampage for Defender was terrible. So I imagine you must have changed out the layout of the keyboards for that. The humanoids. So you're saving one of the humanoids. They would crash back to the ground because I could never catch them if I shot the craft I was trying to take off with them. What else we got here? Travis, what up, Travis? Welcome to the show. Happy New Year, guys. Travis said he added 9 this year as well. That giggle means his wife thinks he's only added 3. What up, Scott Gray? The last one that Ty added was the MVSX. What up, Red? Kanu? I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right. Travis added 9 as well. Jim says, Jim Bruno says, I was lucky to find Burger Time, Star Wars, Golden Tee on Facebook Marketplace at reasonable prices. Man, I don't know what's up with this area. Whether I'm not looking as frequently, I've never really found any good deals on Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp or I don't know what the other thing is. They always have junk. Um, it says Todd says Travis is legit. Do you have any idea what IRK has in store for us this year? I'm not. I'm not aware of what they got in store. I'm sure we'll be hearing something soon with the CES coming up. Um, and Mark was saying he added a pie into the round page. Absolutely. Yeah, I have not had any luck, man. Now, once the mod came out for uh, the arcade one up pinball, I said, man, I'll spend $500 for one if I can get one. And there was like three pinballs. I was, Spidey's my guy, so I was looking for the marble. Even though Attack from Mars is the game I really love because it's more like real pinball, but it didn't really matter because I was gonna have all three of them on it, right? If I can get the cabinet, so I was trying to get the marble, but I would have settled for a Attack from Mars cabinet so I can put the hack on it and get all the games. But apparently, I had a guy in discussion. He wasn't too far away. I was gonna give him $500 and run off giggling, and then all of a sudden he just ghosted me. So apparently he got the news and apparently tried to sell it. Cap it himself or someone else offered more or whatever the case. But so that was my real attempt at trying to get something on the marketplace, and the closest I came to buying something from Facebook Marketplace. Todd said he's in DC, North Carolina, and the closest Attack from Mars was in Georgia. Yeah, see, and I haven't seen them on there since. So it'll probably be a while, but they'll come back up again. Will there be a Super Game Room Dudes show tonight? They said no. They got family things, the commitments. But if we all know P Dubs, if that family thing goes south, he'll be going live. We already know that. So uh, he has FOMO on for live videos, like Michael B has FOMO for the next available cabinet to be released. So I'm going to say no with a possible. Okay, no with a possible. Uh, Jimbo says, I found the Area 51 maximum force cap on the marketplace this year. Did you buy it? Did you buy it? You said you found it. Did you buy it? Um, I've seen a lot of full size cabinets that I see on there. I just I I just have very little interest in getting a full size cabinet, dealing with the wear and tear, the mouse pee and the rat piss, you know, sitting in somebody's garage, sweltering in the heat for 30, 40 years. I just don't dealing with it. I can pick these things up and move them anywhere I want. I would have to get somebody over to help me move a big cabinet somewhere. Then if it breaks, I got to deal with that. I've dealt with my share of things here, just in this home arcade, of things not working, have to fix it. And so I definitely don't want to be messing with 40-year-old machines trying to get those things to work. Um, and so Jimbo said, yeah, he did pick up that Area 51. That thing is huge, right? Oh my goodness. Where do you have that stuck at? Uh, I was looking back in this year, and I had gone to a viewer's house, and I picked up this. Can't see it in this picture here, but it's like a slot machine. It's not really a slot machine. It's a Japanese pachinko machine, believe it's called. So it works a little bit differently than a slot machine, but it has a nice sound. And but his house, I think he's got like probably a 3-bedroom house. Here goes my noise number one for the night. Let's see what that is. Somebody's probably finished a load, a wash. Let me turn this off. You got all these smart devices. They all want to communicate to me. And he had, I think he has a 3-bedroom house. 2 of the bedrooms were converted into arcade rooms. So I think they have a place to sleep, and then 2 arcade rooms, and then their basement was full of arcades. But the dining room as well had a door wall. The dining room as well was a dining room with like 2 virtual fighters, and I forget which racer he had. This is in his dining room, so they ate maybe in their bedroom as well, because that's the only spot that didn't have cabinets. But So I'm just curious, Jimbo, where'd you end up putting that cabinet at in your house? Uh, Red said he's gonna stay tuned to see if P Dubs pokes his head out the New Year party and starts a live show. Yeah, Scott, that's where I'm at. Yeah, my buddy has a old what's that game where it's a side scroller going from left to right like they always did, and the guy has this almost like a yo-yo, and he's knocking these monsters that's walking at him. Um, I can't think of the name of it. Anybody know what game I'm talking about? Um, so basement game room. But my buddy has that full size, and he always trying to get me get to take it off his hands. Just sitting in his garage outside. This is winter. This is Michigan. It gets cold and frigid, and I don't know what else he's got in that garage. But no, I'm not going to take that 300-pound beast. Uh, he want me to convert it, you know, but I have no desire. If I did buy a full size, it would most likely be a Donkey Kong, if I could find one in great shape at a good price, or a Tekken. Those are the only two I really consider buying. What up? What up? What up, Doe? That's the coin phrase from here in Detroit. I always say "What up, YouTube," but it's "What up, Doe" is how we greet each other here. Uh, Basement game room. That's where it ended up. Okay, awesome. If we see P Dubs tonight, 8 more weeks of arcade leaks. We're correct. He's got FOMO for a live show. So I can't imagine him making it to midnight without an appearance, or he may come at 1 o'clock um, after everyone else goes to sleep. Okay, you guys don't have basements in Louisiana, South Louisiana. I can understand why. Yeah, and most people don't. Most people around the country don't have basements. So for us that do, it is definitely Rygar. Rygar, that's what he has. He has Rygar in his garage. He keeps trying to get me to take it off his hands. I refuse to do so. I made an offer last night of an original Class of '81. He wanted a bit too much. Um, what up, Mike? Mike Hawk Hurts. What up? You added the IRK, two one-ups, and a tilt and turn TV stand for my at game setup. So he can play some pinball and spear. So I spread the love evenly. Absolutely, absolutely. So he got everything at game set up, RK one up, and IRK, and that's what I did. So I didn't realize I got my IRK this year. Um, I just bought the White Knights, so I was playing that the other day. Pretty interesting game. I died. Not sure how I died when I did. I made the wrong move apparently, but I'll have to pick that back up and get further with that. Uh, so Travis Todd was asking where you're going to put your Class 81 if you got it. I'm not sure. I came across the reunion, 20-year reunion. If you, I don't know if you guys saw my video from the Whirly Ball. If you guys have never played Whirly Ball, and if you have a Whirly Ball arena in your area, it's a must. It's a must play experience. Whirly Ball, if for those who don't know, Whirly Ball combines um, what is it, like lacrosse, like combines lacrosse, basketball, and bumper cars into a sport. And um and you so you're driving these bumper cars with a one hand controller that either makes you go forward or backwards, and you're trying to maneuver this vehicle to get this wiffle ball, basically, right? And try to pass it to your teammates and make baskets. And it's not really a basket; it's just a hole in the backboard with a net that triggers the score if you hit that net and bounces the ball back to you. But very, very fun game. It was the oldies versus the youngies, and the youngies, they kicked their butts. I think every game. What up, P Dubs? P Dubs is in the house. He's got his phone under the table. Nobody sees it yet, but they're gonna see it once he goes live. We already know. What up, brother? And and this year was our first full year of the four amigos with the super game room dudes. Um, I am drinking tonight, so I will slur some words because I'll do that when I'm not drinking. But it's our first full year um, of well, actually from July to July was our first full year, but this is our first full at the sound of the ball dropping tonight will be our first calendar year that we've been together doing the Super Game Room dudes. So man, it's been great hanging with these guys, man, and giving you guys a show every Friday night. Uh, Happy New Year. Well, he's not technically live. He's just in the crowd. So um, if I get I don't even have my Facebook up here. If he gives me a Facebook message to asking for a link, then it'll be 8 more weeks of leaks. Let me just check over here real quick. They keep trying to get me to install the app on my computer, and I refuse. No, thank you. Just show me my messengers. All right, well, that's going to take its time coming up. Let's see what else is going on. Shout out to Pete Does. Hollywood Polo, I think I said hello and Happy New Year to you, brother. Appreciate what your support all this year. He says, what do you think of the review of Pablo's, the Possum's review of the Killer Instinct? I haven't seen his um, review. So if you have a link, go ahead and drop it into the comments. But so, what do you think of his review? I personally never ever once played Killer Instinct in an arcade. It just didn't exist when I was in arcade, and so I think I may have played it on Nintendo, but I'm not 100% certain. It's just not a game that you know came into my timeline. But the cabinet, you know, looks really awesome with the mods that Chris has done. Twisted Chris, the mods they did to get the back glass. I'm sorry, the backlit marquee with the perfect black background and the backlit LEDs for the fake coin door. I think uh, that's the way. Every there's no sense in putting those doors on there. To add those two LEDs to it is a start, but they really should just not have the player one and player two buttons, um, or they can have both. But I think that you should be able to put the quarters in, similar to my I don't have it here, my numbskull. The numbskull, Pac-Man, all the other devices the same way. You put the credits in by pressing the coin door buttons. So Arcade One Up should make those buttons live to put credits in, as well as backlit the LED on the red LED on the coin doors. That was a mouthful. Travis says, "What up, Pete Doves?" Hollywood says the same. Hello, Patrick. Um, EMP, a pinball fan. Happy New Year's to us. Thank you. Happy New Year to you as well. Um, how'd you hear about all this stuff, Pete Dubs? You supposed to be hanging out with the family. Everybody falling asleep. Now you gave them cough syrup and some drinks. Have them fall asleep so you can go live. I know your tricks. Okay. Killer Instinct was on a different level. Hardcore players, you need to be a really good beast to play that game. Um, but I don't think I played. I had to have played Street Fighter in the arcade. But yeah, those fighter games, when you went to the arcade, there was always a crowd around those cabinets and a whole lot of smack talking. That's why I definitely love this Quarters on the Glass show because it brings that back, right? You got people challenging each other and a crowd behind them checking out the fight. That's what those fighting games were all about. To be able to emulate that in the home environment with use of the Wi-Fi and video streaming apps, man, that's just an incredible thing. That's definitely going to be successful and popular. And so the ball has been launched with that. Um, so P Dubs confirms with a hyphen, I'm sorry, with asterisk, uh, that he's not going live today. But again, in my personal opinion, and knowing P Dubs, he does have FOMO for live shows. So it's an asterisk with that. But he says and confirms, LOL, nah, not going live tonight. All right. So, what fighters do you think will be next? I remember enjoying Primal Rage around the same time as Killer Instinct. That's another game I've played on the console, but never played at the arcades. But don't remember many other fighters that weren't made for console. Well, there's the King of Fighters, that whole thing for the people who have the MS SVX. I don't even know what it's called because I never played King of Fighters. That the whole everything's on that cabinet is foreign to me. That's why I didn't buy that MSVX cabinet. Um, is is Killer Instinct? It's online, but I don't think that no one has the cabinet except for Chris and apparently this other person that they were just asking about. So maybe those two can fight each other finally. But I would imagine there's no one really online to play because it's not really in the masses' hands yet. Um, I'm not turned on my ALU or ALP this week until the servers are back. Yep. I don't know how long the server's been down, but I just turned on my arcade earlier and I couldn't sign in. Um, and so they're aware of that issue and they're working on resolving that. But yeah, and see when you download your games to those devices, it gives you the option. Do you want to lock it uh, to your arcade net ID, which is now called the Legends ID, and I think that's what this whole change is for. This update here, they're changing it from arcade net ID to a Legends ID. For your credentials. Um, but you have the option to lock your license to that machine or to the arcade net, which if you lock it to the arcade net allows you to play those licenses across different platforms. So if you have the ALP, ALU, the Gamer Pro, Mini, that type of thing, you can play those same games. But the downside of locking it to arcade net up is if you can't log in with a server issue, then you can't play some of those games. So that kind of sucks. So I was getting on it for the first time in a while and couldn't play because it was locked out. Um, right? Yeah. We'll all be looking to see if P Dub shows up in live. Um, so Giovanni was saying the wish is for Marvels versus Capcom 2 to be Wi-Fi enabled to allow you to put your quarters on the glass. Um, Says I don't see that update if they're going to roll something out, make it easy and seamless. Most and some of the problems could be sometimes when people they release these when companies. I'm not saying at games this is the issue, but a lot of times they roll out these updates in waves so that everyone doesn't hit the server at the same time and cause problems, server related problems. Most companies do that. Apple, Google, a lot of companies do that. So I'm not sure. So I did get an update on my ALU. I hadn't gotten an update on the ALP yet. So again, they may be rolling them out per device in stages across the country. I'm not sure what their plan is, but that's typically what you do to avoid issues. But I'm not sure. I can't log into either the ALU or the ALP, so that problem is uniform or system wide, at least from my experience. And the ALP, because it has an update, is not asking for the Legends ID. It's still asking for the Arcade Net ID, and so they're working on that. Um, yeah, I wish I've not. committed to my licenses being on the arcade net because I just hate having to log in to something to play, and they make you log in way too frequently, which is such a pain. I've said that, and I will continue to say that until they fix that because you shouldn't have to log into the thing. I don't know what they're protecting in making you log. Now I understand for security reasons, like your apps to your bank, they're going to time out and you have to log back in so no one picks up your phone and get into your bank account, right? So that makes sense. There's other times where uh, Netflix used to make you sign out after a while, but they got so much slack from that because they got their you send your kid off to school and they have your Netflix account, and now their device logs out, and then you got to go through all this stuff. But I understand why Netflix would do it because they know people share the logins, and now they would have to be forced to log in. So from that arena, I understand why, though that wasn't successful, and they had to back up off that. But I cannot see any reason while it makes sense for our at games to force you to always re-log into the account every time. It's just baffling to me. Um, and I wish they correct that. Um, Red says I used to Killer be my side game, aside Street Fighter 2, and would dominate many players. I hope when I do get the cab. Well, Twisted Chris was saying that a lot of those moves are just difficult to execute because his muscle memory is trying to do it on the big cab, and it works a little bit differently, or the key because the placement of your buttons and your joystick is not in the same exact position. Muscle memory sort of makes you fumble uh, in doing some of those moves. I wouldn't personally have any problem with that because I can never pull off any of those moves on any of those fighter games. So, um, but the muscle memory may be a problem. Just tried to update ALP, no go. Um, yeah. Again, they're aware of the problem and they're looking to resolve that. So let's see what they happen. The sticks and the buttons on the arcade one up is not true arcade quality, and so it's going to take a few uh, matches for you to get the hang of it. All right, so all right, so looking back in my game room for the year, again, I didn't realize I just added my ALP this year. I thought I had it longer because we've been talking about this thing for so long. So, January of last year or this year, currently, 2021, I added the Legends Pinball. Uh, all right, let's see what Pete does. He's found something. Okay, just found all the announcements. Their servers are down on today for all day when people are having parties in their game rooms. That's hilarious. So yeah, so they're aware of it. Apparently, they've made some announcement that they're down. So you know, uh, maybe we all get to scream Happy New Year when the servers come back up. Yeah, if you caught my Atari Legacy cab I put together, I think I received it a couple of days before Christmas. Ordered it on the 17th. I did get it for the 250 off of Amazon. I know probably like 5 people got theirs off of my link, and I was able to see that. So people grabbed them; they went quick. Um, but yeah, I'm looking forward to you getting your legacy cabinet put together, man. It's a nice cabinet. I am gonna look to do a couple of mods to it. I'm not gonna modify it so as far as with a pie or anything. I'm gonna keep it stock, but I am interested in doing the marquee um, adjustment so that it's lines up with the angle of the cabinet, as well as possibly the volcano buttons on the player one and player two. I've seen that mod out there, and but definitely working to get the coin door molded. I think it's retro 530. They have a door though. They had like a white trim around the actual coin door, the coin return slot, which I don't like, and so they can do a black on black one. And so I'm looking forward to getting that. Uh, Says I also added ALP, but hadn't fired it up in months. Um, yeah, I got that back in January, so it just seems like I had that. So I'm gonna talk about this here. So I'll go ahead and put that down here. So top three cabinets. We'll talk about that. Um, and so the other thing I added in the game room, I added the Buy Stuff Store Gamer Pro Chrome stand. I know P Dubs has that. Um, that's why this whole couchcade thing, I did a video talking briefly about that. The whole countercade thing is bizarre to me because I would imagine the Gamer Pro is designed to be played on your lap or on a coffee table or your ottoman in front of your couch to sit it on because it's way too big to go on your lap comfortably. And so I added the stand from Buy Stuff Store. Um, that that thing is really nice. So you can stand up because that's the way I like playing arcade games, standing up. But I can stand up in front of the big TV. Um, any regrets? I'll put that question in. Any regrets for cabinets purchased? I'll put that, and we'll come back to that. Um, so Scott asked that question, so I'll answer that soon. Uh, he said I hate it for at games, but buy stuff happens. But stuff happens. Okay, he hates that they're having the problems. Right, we all do. Busy year for me. Modded my Star Wars via the Kong mod. Got Pac-Man 40 edition, Pong Pug table, and Tron. My game room expanded pretty quickly with this. Yeah, that the Tron, man. I'm looking at that one. I'm looking. If I can get that for a good price, I would definitely. Oh, I see what you're saying. P Dubs is saying um, he told him to turn the servers off uh, on April 1st, not December 31st. Jokes, baby, jokes. At Games is resolving to keep gamers playing in 2022. This is a long shot goal, but resolving to lose 10 pounds sometimes. You're up and down. What up, Meatball Saucy? I didn't see you come in. Todd agrees the couchcade is weird. Yeah. Travis says he doesn't regret any purchase this year. Todd says the same. No regrets either. Um, so we're also going to answer this question. What's the top three games in the man cave? You guys can put yours in the matter of fact. Oh, I can't do that. So I added that. I made my couch cave a stand-up cave with the Gamer Pro with the Buy Stuff Store Gamer Pro stand. I also added the Star Wars. Um, and I think I've said this before. I don't think I have ever watched. I was over Buddy's house and we were watching a little bit of Star Wars. Uh, I don't think I've ever watched any one of the Star Wars movies all the way through. But I don't know when the first one had to come out in the early 70s, mid 70s, because I had tons of the toys growing up, the figurines, R2D2, C3PO, Chewbacca. Everybody had those toys. I has some type of toy related to Star Wars all my life, though I never collected any of them. I've never kept any of them. I wish I had, obviously, right? Um, and I don't really recall playing the Star Wars game at all. So similar to like what I say about Killer Instinct. I don't recall playing the Star Wars games. I may have. If I did, I didn't play it long. Uh, but just having that yoke, and I think it's a awesome addition to the game room. And when people come over, they love playing it. So, and even the younger kids who've never probably don't even know what Star Wars is. But who doesn't like flying and shooting, you know, aircraft, even though it's just 3D art, 3D graphics, vector graphics. Uh, let's catch up with the comments here. I'm not sure who this person is, but I think they're spamming it, so I'm just gonna block them. All right. Um, Okay, let's see. Catch up. Tron looks great, but waiting for the announcements from CES. Okay, so you guys saying that the Star Wars came out in 77 or 78. I got you. Uh, Return the Jedi in theaters, one of my oldest memories. Yeah, and you know I have ways of watching movies like a lot of you guys do. I can watch any movie I want to watch, and I used to have my Raspberry Pi. My Raspberry Pi originally was on my TV. I had a Raspberry Pi on my TV, and I could watch any movie. Or I could have my movies that I've downloaded to digital form and watch those anywhere in the house from the server. And I always had arcade games on it, but I never really played arcades because I don't like playing sitting down. But I have a collection of all the Star Wars movies, and I keep saying that one day I'm gonna just watch them all, but I just haven't. Now, Todd, are these your tops or top regrets? Or these are your top three? Because that question was asked. What are your top three cabinets? So your top three cabinets is MVSX. That's number one. Number two is Golden X and Outrun. So those are Todd's top three cabinets. Um, okay, so let me just get through all of these. So I got that $99 Galaga counter K, which I got and I modded. So that's the first full out mod of a counter K. That's the version 2, I believe. Um, and I was planning to do a fourth video on talking about the programming side, but I took it over my best friend's house. My best friend Sean, I've known him since fourth grade. He was my wingman whenever we were at the arcades. Well, for us, it wasn't really the arcades; it was the party store, the bowling alley. It was always him and I, and my three letters. I asked that question in my video for the Atari Legacy. What was your three letters that you put up on for your high score? Now, initially, remember the games didn't allow you to save a name with it; they just had your score up there, and then they added that feature to allow you to put your initials on. And so mine was always BRO for Brooks. So BRO, and my best friend Sean, his name was always Wax because he said he would wax that ass if you played up against him. Sounds like something UAG is saying today. But he would wax just about anybody on most of those games. And so WAX was his three-letter name for his high scores. And so I left it over there for him to try out. He loved it so much. He every time I call him, he lives an hour away from me, and I'm never on that side of town, so I haven't seen him. And we usually get together when our kids are doing something, but they're all grown, so that's far and few between. And the pandemic has kept us from doing things together. But anyway, so he had my modified Galaga counter K, and I decided to gift it to him. So I told him, keep it, it's yours. He loves it. He loves it that it's battery operated. He can play. He says sometimes he roll over in the bed. It's on his nightstand, and he'll play a quick game with Galaga or Miss Pac-Man or something. So that modified Galaga counter K is an awesome thing. I'm gonna have to get me. Maybe I'll go ahead and modify my Miss Pac-Man because it's just awesome to have that small package that you can take anywhere, play anywhere, and play all your favorite games. So that definitely was one of my top um, uh, arcade game cabinets, but now it's gone. Small tear, but I'll have to do that again. I also added my Oculus Plus this year. Haven't played it in a while. Now, the challenge with the Oculus Plus is you have to have enough space with the right lighting where you're not tearing up some stuff. You saw when if you guys caught UAG's a stream that I was on, I played it right here in this confined space and knocked over my monitor. That was hilarious. So I haven't played that in a while because with Christmas, all the extra stuff is out, boxes, especially down here, all the Christmas boxes are out in my way. So I hadn't been able to play that for a while or so. I did buy the To Die For back glass backlash board for my ALP, which is installed, but I still haven't gotten that going. And finally, the Arcade One Up Atari Legacy. So I've added. So the cabinets I've added this year was my IRK, the Black Edition. I had no clue that I had to put my own stickers on that box. I imagine the ones they're selling today that they're coming affixed, but that mine I had to put it on. Didn't turn out bad, but I didn't anticipate that, so that kind of bummed me out. So that's the first cabinet of the year. The At Games Legends Pinball was my second cabinet. Third cabinet was Arcade One Up Star Wars. Fourth was the Counter K Galaga $99 deal, and finally the cabinet, the Legacy Atari Legacy. Those are the new additions to my game room. So let me catch up on the comments here. Let's see here. So Red says, I played Star Wars at Chuck E. Cheese for the first time with my brothers and thought those vector graphics were the best. Fond memories with that cab. Is Chuck E. Cheese still around? I know the one closest to us is gone. I saw that. I think they put one of those trampoline places there now. I guess all the big kids are getting bigger, and no one's taking little kids out anymore. So now they have these iFly, I think that's what it's called, right? They have all these trampoline places. The landscape is changing. Happy New Year, L. Young brother. Happy New Year, Chum Bucket. Hey, thanks, Al. Appreciate it. Just got the Quest 2 for Christmas, Todd says. You're going to love it. Shoot, I forgot that the Quest 2 and Switch this year. Spent a fortune, says Travis. Yeah, I got my Switch last year. And P Dubs told me about that PGA 2021 golf game. And I think I bought that in July. And I've probably played 8 seasons by now. It's crazy. I've had to bump up that golf game to the difficulty level. I think I've put up to 100% now. I've been creeping it up because they were no match, and now I'm it's very competitive, and I think you can go as high as 110% of what their skill level is. So if I get the mastering it at 100%, I'll go to the top level. What up? What up? Just jumped on. Glad you did. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Let's see. Travis says, most importantly was becoming part of the community and making some virtual friends. Man, hey, this has been incredible. This is incredible. Yeah, Michael B is probably, he probably got 20 machines this year. Because you look at it, man, Arcade One Up came up with tons, and he loves his Arcade One Up cabinet, his 3/4 scale. I think they came out with tons of things, right? I mean, they might have came out with 20 cabinets this year easily, counting the pinball. What up, Cap Grep? Appreciate you coming in. Happy New Year to you as well. Yeah, Arcade One Up came out with tons. I mean, IRK, they came out with different versions, right? We already had the Black Edition, the classic, the Dragon's Lair and Space Age, but they came out with the wrestling, and that's something that would happen this year, right? The Super Game Room dudes showed up on the Retromania wrestling app this year. I'm still not good enough to control the play, so I can get down there to see us. Everybody at the top gets the camera view, because you got to get off the ring to see us. Are you guys playing Retromania Wrestling? Are you guys able to get out the ring and go down there and say what up to the Super Game Room dudes? Let me know in the chat. Let me know. You only added the Defender Party K. I have not seen the Party K in person, so I'm not sure if I would like that. Kev Gret, is your Party K, do you hang it on the wall? Do you have it on the back of the door? Do you use it like a counter K? How are you utilizing that Party K? Let me know in the chat. I appreciate it. Meatball Saucy says no regrets on his purchases. Number one, was the IRK. Number 2 was Legends Pinball, and number 3 Class of '81. Um, Shoeshine says I went from zero cabinets this year to a Legends Gamer Pro, a IRK, a ALP, Tron Defender, a Defender Partycade, and Pong Countercade. He went big, yeah. Like I said, I think for most people this has been the year because, like I said, arcade went up, and with pinball, everybody jumped on the pinball bandwagon this year. So a lot of people added pinball, whether it was from at games or arcade went up. We've all added some pinball this year. Um, Arcade One Up just had a ton of things. They had the Pong, Dragon's Lair. Well, Dragon's Lair and Space Ace, they're still taking pre-orders for, but they came out with the X-Men 4-player, Atari Legacy, Bandai Namco Legacy, the Midway Legacy, Capcom Legacy, Infinity Game Table, what X-Men versus Street Fighter, The Simpsons, Street Fighter Big Blue, Pac-Man Jr., that's the baby cade. They came out with a bunch of countercades, some 2-player countercades, some more party cades. Ridge Racer, is that out yet? Ridge Racer, is that in people's homes? We know Terminator 2 is not. It's been announced. It's supposed to come out, be shipped to people in February. Came out with Tron, and obviously the Attack from Mars, Marvel, and Star Wars pinball. It's a heck of a year, you know, um, for the home arcade market, man. Let's see here. We're all waiting on the new driving cabs that's coming this year. Um, Meatball Saucy says, "Hey, Kev Gret." So Todd said his goal for 2022 for his arcade is to get himself an iArcade. Partycade is very flexible, not bad, says Chum Bucket. So Kev Gret answered my question here. I don't hang it on the wall. I have it on a small stand. And he's saying hello. Shouts out to Meatball Saucy and Travis. Um, so Devil Waldo's in the house. What up, brother? We still gonna have to get to play some golf, man. Hit me a message. Hit me up on the messenger. Um, we definitely have to play. I need to play a human being. These computers are out of control. Um, I think the only things I bought this year was a Legends Pinball, a Gamer Pro, and a Quest 2. Okay. That's enough right there. Al says I'm waiting on the new form factor from who is that? From iArcade? Who are you talking about, Al? Todd agrees on that. I missed a question up there. It's been a good year for sure. VA for the home arcade. Red says Michael B is awesome. Anyone that religiously watched Arcade Impossible and also loved Robotron has my utmost respect. Yes, I'm a fanboy to the game, Genie. uh, okay, Giovanni says he's going to put the money on Arcade this year. Um, but yeah, now I grew up watching Silver Spoons. Have you guys watched Silver Spoon? And he had that arcade, and he actually has what I have back there. He had one of these Tempest machines in his arcade, um, and it just looked so awesome, man. I used to love that show, and Silver Spoons I used to watch, and Silver Spoons kind of remind me of a comic strip character that I watched. I don't know if you guys were comic fans, but growing up, I used to be a fan of Spider-Man comics. I was a fan of Archie. Uh, I used to watch. I used to read Casper comic strips and Richie Rich. Those were the 4 comic strips that I read all the time. Richie Rich, man, that cat. And so Silver Spoons guys remind me of Richie Rich from the comic strip. Um, but yeah, I love me some Spider Man, um, Archie, Casper, and Richie Rich comic books growing up. What do you guys? What comic books did you guys enjoy as a kid? Let me know, or teenager. Let me know. Devil Waddle says uh, you be on that golf all the time. I know. See, you can't even hide from it because when you get on, the switch will tell you that you have a friend online, and most of the time it'll say what you're playing. Um, Yep, I am on that golf. And so Devil Waldo, but I don't know. We got to get with P Does, and I don't even know how you add because we tried that one time. You would invite me, and I couldn't get in, and I invite you, but you were already in the one that you. It was ridiculous. It's they got to make that better, and we've had updates, so maybe they've made it better. So I definitely would like to try that. You remember that? Well, I'm assuming that's Silver Spoons that we're talking about here. Ragman says this year got Legends Gamer Pro, the arcade one up, Capcom Marvel superhero, and built a few other things. Okay. Uh, Curtis agrees. Yes, Silver Spoons. When I watched that, I dreamed of having arcades in my living room. And today, it's our reality. Uh, well, most likely our wife makes them put us down somewhere else besides the living room, but we have them at home, and they don't take up as much room, and they don't have rat pee and mouse poo, right? Uh, and so that's the good thing. They're new, not old and 30, 40 years old. All right. So Travis says, my cabs since last November. The ALU 1.1, that's the one I have. Gamer Pro with the large TV, large screen TV with the swivel mount so he can do his verticals. Awesome. The ALP, IRK, Big Blue, Tron, Class 81, Tempest, made the Switchcade, uh, and the Oculus, and the gaming PC. Oh, he's got some more. That's quite a bit there, Travis. Uh, Red says the Tempest machine was in his living room. Richie Rich is that dude, right? Spider Man for sure. Ragman enjoyed Spider Man comics for sure. Doctor Strange and Incredible Hulk. Oh yeah, I used to definitely rock some Hulk. We had the TV show. Remember, um, Bruce Banner roaming from town to town trying to fit in. Never quite did. Always came out of that shirt, baby. Um, Damn, Travis, you're killing your wallet this year. Absolutely. Let's see. Travis got and a laptop. That was his last name. Spy versus Spy. Oh man, Spy versus Spy, which was part of Mad magazine, right? Oh yeah, Mad magazine. I think it was Mad magazine, not comics, right? Mad magazine. That was that was that was like that was like finding those rag magazines that the wives would put out on the curb because they found them in their husband's closet, right? That was the next best thing to finding one of those little porno magazines sitting on the curb. Thank you, housewives of yesteryear, because we never seen as much um, tail as we did back in the day when you guys threw that out to us kids in the streets. All right. So Red says Action Comics and Detective Comics were awesome reads. Devil Waldo says I remember reading the RoboCop versus the Terminator comics. I don't recall that one there. Happy New Year from Lon Cheney. Trevor says his wallet found a few coupons. So he didn't hit the lottery. He just found some coupons and some great deals. Oh yeah, the Hulk TV show. Yeah, the theme song, man, that was it. Uh, Lonnie, I don't know how you say it. I'm sorry, Lon Chaney. Sorry about that. Said he added the At Games Tetris. Travis, sorry to hear about that, about the divorce a couple years ago, but now it's amazing. Um, and see, a lot of people when they go through the divorce and the wife keeps those arcade cabinets, we end up getting deals on the street curb in the garage sales. Uh, and Todd agrees. Travis is legit. Man, Mad Magazine, man, that was the magazine. I enjoyed me some Mad Magazine. All right, so answer this question here. So first question they asked is what's my favorite ad this year? So I would have to say. So I added the iArcade, the At Games Legends Pinball, the stand for the Gamer Pro, the Star Wars, the Atari Legacy, my Oculus Plus, my Galaga Countercade. Um, so what was my favorite ad? This is tough, man. If I had to pick one of these as my favorite, well, obviously the Atari Legacy. I just got that, uh, so I don't know if I could say it's my favorite, but uh, it's got to be the pinball. It's got to be the X Games Legends pinball, and I've still yet to get it playing the full size games. I did a video a year ago where I have it hooked up playing the FX3 table, so I've had the ability to play it. Um, I just been wrestling with with part supplies. It's been tough on graphics cards. I want to build a whole new computer for the X Games Legends pinball, so I don't mess with my modified Toy Shock. Um, so that's where I wrestle with. And so I'd rather play on the small screen and play my VPX games than to mess it up and start meddling with the larger. Because uh, even when I had the Toy Shock computer hooked up to my Legends, I resized all of the um, DMD screens, and every time I go play a game that I hadn't played in a long time, I got to reshape it. So if I mix and match it, and then try to go back, it's going to be a nightmare. So I'm hoping this year I'm going to finally get my Legends pinball the way I wanted to play it, because I have the computer deconstructed. I just have to get a hard drive, a SSD, and a graphics card. Uh, yeah, yeah, we could always find those dirty magazines in the alleys. Yeah, those ladies, they would find their husband's stash and throw them out, and we had no problem finding. Somebody would find them and share them with us kids. It was terrible. Um, C Smooth 7771 says, I see I can still purchase the X Games Mini Tetris. I thought they only gave you 3 days. Oh, hey, I know I had a reservation and I didn't buy one, so I know they have some open for that and give them to somebody else, right? Gents, I need to step out. Travis, thanks for coming by and rocking with us. I appreciate it. Happy New Year, brother. Um, yeah, they only supposed to give you so long because it was the lineup, right? But once if they satisfy everybody that was in line, then obviously the 3 day thing would disappear, right? Uh, Lonnie says the favorite ad this year was the X Games Legends pinball. Could you just clone? Yeah, I could clone my hard drive, but I still need a graphics card um, for the ALP. So yeah, I can do that. Do you remember the Wacky World of Sports, starring Bob Euchre back in the mid '80s? It sounds familiar. The Though no images are coming to my head as far as the Wacky World. I have to YouTube that. So my favorite ad this year, I said, was the X Games Legends pinball, and my top three cabinets. So my top three cabinets in my arcade, all uh, including everything. Number one by far is still my modified arcade one up Galaga, because I can play all of my vertical games, which those are my favorite games all time. So number one, without a doubt, is the modified Galaga. The second favorite, hmm, mm, 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 mm. um, I'm gonna say it's just tough. I want to say um, my golf game, the Golden Tee. I want to say Golden Tee for number two, um, but I'm gonna put number two at my modified Toy Shock at this point in time. I'm gonna put that as my number two modified Toy Shock pinball, because it has all the VPX games on it. So those pinball games are super awesome. And my third favorite game in this arcade um, room here. Huh, that's a tough one. I'm gonna have to say my Street Fighter Two mod. Um, I think that's my number three. Everybody else fits in a unique segment of the game room, but those are my first three. Those are my first three, and the only and all three of those are modded, right? So to me, that's what makes them the most prized one. And again, my modified Street Fighter has like over 2,000 games, but I don't display those 2,000 games. I only display a short list of games that people are allowed to play. Now, if you came over my house and say, "Hey, oh boy, do you have some wacky game I've never heard of?" You know, um, I'll add it to it for the time being while you're here. But for the most time, I'm going to have a small select of games on both the Galaga and the Street Fighter so that people can come up, get a nice list of games to choose from. They're not scrolling for hours, through a long list. They can pick from a very selective list of games that anybody that knows about vertical or horizontal games can play a game that they love. Um, and then the pinball, the modified toy shot, because I can play over 300 pinball games, you know, and most of them are pretty darn awesome. So those three modded devices by far are my top three games in my game room. And the last question was, are there any regrets? Did I regret any of the things that I bought this year? Mm, I don't know. I don't know that I regret buying it because I'm very selective in what I buy. I don't just buy things because of FOMO or to do it just to do a review or just to be the first one to have something. I don't do that. Uh, but so I say it's tough to say if I regretted anything, but I would say the least play device of everything I mentioned, Oculus, Switch, the numbskulls, the counter case, the modified games, the stock games. The least played of all the things I have in my game room is the um, the Gamer Pro, the Gamer Pro on the kick ass buy stuff gamer stand. Um, One, because again, me playing arcades is on. I enjoy playing them on a cabinet, uh, and um, and it's put away. Right? It's not right there in front of the TV all the time because you're watching TV, right? So it's pushed to the side, out of sight, out of mind, and I like playing on cabinets. So for that reason, if I had to say I regretted buying something, I can't really say I regret it, but it's the least played device in my list of cabinets for those two reasons. I like standing at a cabinet with the stand. I do have the standing ability, so it gives that back. But it's out of sight, out of mind because I can't leave it in front of the TV all the time, right? Um, and so for those reasons, that would be the one that I would list. Uh, So I see Devil Waldo saying he regret missing out on the Star Wars cabinet. Now I didn't initially get mine, so again I got mine this year. I got it January 31st. I found it on the website and I found a coupon for it. Um, I see Todd saying I regret not buying the Tetris Mini, but I was broke. I lost my job. It was just bad timing. Yeah, sorry to hear about that. Um, let's see here. We'll catch up on the comments. Let's see here. Okay. To say the Legends Mini didn't sell well will be a big understatement. Large percentage of the ones pre-ordered ended up canceling them. Again, yeah, I that's a if I didn't have the regular Legends, then I don't know. If I didn't have my modified Galaga, then that Legends Mini would make sense because then I could play all those vertical games on it. But to me, like I said, I have a very select machines, that have unique purpose. It gives that variety. I try not to have too much duplication, you know. And I saw the Legends Mini in my arcade would just be duplicating because even the Legends, the ALU 1.1, if not for the Tron stick to be able to play Tron better and have more spacing to play like my double joystick games, that game would just be a bigger version of my modified Street Fighter 2. But it has that big screen. It gives me those things that make it unique, like with the coin ops on it. And so ALU has a place. But for the mini in my environment, it's just I put the reservation on it. But when came time to pull the plug this year, it was a no-go for those reasons that I stated. Gotta go. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Giovanni. I appreciate that. Happy New Year. Um, yeah, the concept of the mini is awesome because you can rotate that screen and you can, if you want to play horizontals, you want to play vertical, you have that option on one cabinet. Is definitely uh, a good cabinet. It's just for me, it just didn't. Where we at? Where are we? What up, Jeff? See you made it in. Appreciate it. Happy New Year. Trying at $500. Would you get it? It's like someone said above. It's about timing, right? It's about timing, where your funds are at the time. See, the thing is, up here in Michigan, in Metro Detroit, I haven't seen a cabinet at any of the stores for a long time. So I can't just walk into a store and because I don't think any of the WalMarts, they don't regularly hold the arcade one up cabinets anymore. They did have that Outrun I saw a while back. Aside from that, I haven't seen them. I haven't walked into a store for a while and seen cabinets to be able to buy. Um, but if I can get a good price on the Tron, I've paid $500 for Star Wars and Golden Tee, so that's a price that I'm willing to pay. Based on past experience. And Tron is a unique enough, beautiful looking cab. Man, I would love to have it here. So if I can find one at 500, probably would be a yes, based on timing. 2022, we definitely hope it's going to be better for a whole lot of reasons. Um, BA says he agrees. He's not played this Gamer Pro in almost a year. Um, Ragman says, I've seen the Gamer Pro set up with an old 32 TV on a PC cart. Works out great. Grandkids love it. Yeah, like I said, it definitely has his purpose. And I'm glad I have it. I don't regret buying it. But it just doesn't get a lot of play. For me, I have it so that I can take upstairs. If we have a big party, people over, I can have more options around the house. Um, Someone says, great idea. Well, if you don't rotate it, Scott, then the mini is a dedicated vertical, right? But you're saying the same size. Well, if it's the same size as um, the ALU, then it's going to have a whole lot of bezel area, right? So I don't know if you want it to be that same size. Yep. Don't see a lot of uh, stores carrying these cabinets. Now, when I go to Sam's Club, because I go there almost every Saturday with my wife, um, they've had the at games pinball in there, the ALU. I've seen some minis, gamer minis. Um, Now I don't know if those are the same ones and no one's buying them, or they're replenishing them. But I have seen those in the Sam's Club. Mike says, if I go with a cab based on looks and a track mode alone, it would be Dragon's Lair when it finally drops. Um, Now, Dragon's Lair, I never really played Dragon's Lair a whole lot, so I have that on my iArcade. I've played it a few times. I haven't really played it a whole lot. Um, I don't know. To me, I just never really got the. To me, it didn't really feel like a game. I don't know if I'm, it's like it was just like reading a. Remember those stories we had? You could get those books where you the reader could decide what happens in the game, right? You get to this point in the story and it says if you want to go to the left, go to page 12. If you want to go to the right, go to page 13 or whatever, you know what I mean, or page 16, whatever the case is, and you had these choices, and you made the story go, so multiple people play or read that book, they can have a different outcome, some differences because they made different choices. And I always looked at that Dragon's Lair as sort of like one of those stories where I didn't really feel like it was a game. It was almost like a movie that you just got to kind of dictate the action. And I could never get the timing, you know what I mean? So it was just a very frustrating game to me, because I can never, get the timing right or remember which way to go. So I definitely wasn't going to put quarters in there for that. And now that I get to play it without quarters, I haven't played it much more, as well. So it's just a game that just hasn't really resonated with me, unfortunately. Simpsons now is $2.99 at certain Walmarts. Um, let's see what Meatball said here. Uh, so he says this is the mini. The ALU mini fills a niche role in my arcade. No OTG, vertical coin ops only, pinball, backup pinball gameplay if needed. I have been playing the heck out of Gunsmoke. Man, see Gunsmoke, I play that on my modded Galaga. Gunsmoke is a very difficult game, very difficult game, uh, and I love that game, but it's hard as heck. Um, so Meatball said that, and then Al agreed with him. Uh, what we got here? Okay. Simpsons Bowling has my favorite track mode of any arcade games. Yeah, and the track mode to me is very important. So that it sounds like an arcade in here, right? And I must say, the does anyone have a custom a track mode for either their ALU or their ALP that they can share? Is that something that's doable? Because the stock, while I'm glad that at games has added the track mode, that music, man, the music on the track mode on that thing drives me batty. It's just too repetitive, and it doesn't. It's not an arcade sound. It's just it drives me crazy. I have to go and turn the volume down, um, whenever it comes on. It's just not. It just doesn't sound like arcade. I would have rather them took games that they actually have and make a video of it with the actual sounds from the games. Because even if I have like one of the pinball games up, even the pinball games on the At Games Legends pinball, the the sound when you're not playing it is just so repetitive, and it's just not a good sound. It just drives me crazy. So I'm glad they have it. They just got to work out what it what a track mode that they're showing. But all my other cabinets, man, when it goes to the screensaver mode and it's showing off the games that are actually on those cabinets, like my modified Street Fighter and Galaga, when the Star Wars comes on, or my the NBA Jams kicks into the screensaver mode, and those sounds, and my modified Toy Shock, when those sounds come on, and this sounds like I'm in an arcade, I'm in heaven. I love that sound. So the track mode is definitely crucial to um, these home environments, home arcades. I got the IRK. Are you all playing yours? Yeah, I play my IRK. Again, not as much as my modified things, but I've been playing White Knights. I think it's called White Knights, the little like scary game. It's like a story. Um, let's see here. Academy Sports for uh, Academy Sports have Star Wars pinball for $4.99. Yeah, that's a. Where's Academy Sports? I've never heard of that. We don't have those here in Michigan. Yeah, those Choose Your Adventure books. Yeah, I used to love those things growing up. My favorite book for as a teenager was, and I don't know if you guys read this. But I used to spend a lot of time in the library. Encyclopedia Brown. Encyclopedia Brown's teenage neighborhood detective, kid detective. Encyclopedia Brown was by far my most favorite books. He has a series of books. Um, and I don't know, I don't think they've ever made a movie or TV show or anything from that. I wish they would. That just brings back so much fond memories. I wish they would do something with that. Uh, Al says I always went the wrong way. Um, yeah, those deals, man. Those I've never seen any of those fire sales that people get. Curtis, hey, welcome to the chat, man. Curtis says, depending on what Arcade One Up announces, he feels Dragon's Lair will be his next purchase. Mike Hawk Herc says, I got my IRK in the mail earlier this month, but hadn't set it up yet. Gunsmoke, man, that's a classic game. That thing is. I wish there were some settings you can change to change the difficulty because that game is ridiculously difficult. And a game like that becomes even harder when if the keyboards doesn't match up right, the keys aren't right, so you know you're hitting the right key for shooting straight ahead to the right or to the left. Um, it makes it more difficult. Yeah, I agree. Chosen One. That track mode music is nerve wracking. Um, so Al says, "Can't you make your own?" Yeah, yeah, I can make my own if I knew the ratio that it needed and whatever. But hopefully somebody else got it out there, man. I'm surprised that they hadn't released something, some options for that. But yeah, you can make your own track mode. Um, I have a good track mode on the ALP. Lots of tables that aren't on the cab, but it looks good. Hey, Meatball Saucy, if you could share that with me, I'll take it until we can get one that does have just the things we have. But because the boy, that music drives me crazy. I really enjoy building that. I haven't brought any games yet. It's really a nice build. He's asking about. He's responding to the question about the IRK. Uh, yeah, Dick's. Yeah, I've never seen any cabinets at Dick's. Our Dick's Sporting is good. That's for sure. Um, a Encyclopedia. I can't speak. Encyclopedia Brown. I got them when they had book fairs at the school. Yeah, that's definitely my favorite. Definitely my favorite. Um, so are you guys aware? Are there any other shows that's going to do like a countdown? I wanted to get mine out early. I wasn't looking to do like a countdown to the new year thing. But I did want to chat with you guys and see what you guys had done because, like I said, a lot of cabinets came out this year, man. And so I know all of us added quite a few cabinets to our game rooms this year. Um, and next year looks like it's going to be, with Terminator 2 and um, Dragon's Lair, and man, I'm hoping, I'm hoping, at Games comes out with a 2.0 version or 1.1 pinball. I would love to see them get the proportions of the table correct. I would love to see that, um, and get a back glass with the three screens. That would be my wish list for 2022 is for X Games to make those tweaks to the pinball. I would sell mine in a heartbeat and buy it if that was the case, because I hadn't really done anything else aside from To Die For's back glass with it yet. But yeah, that's what my New Year resolution is for X Games. Make the pinball 2.0. I would love to see that. Scott says his ALP always freezes up in track mode. I hadn't seen that, and I run mine for hours. But I know there are some updates. I know some people were having some issues, so check for updates on tables. I don't see how that would affect the track mode, but curious. What up, Adam? Happy New Year. New Sensations doing. I'm not sure who that is, but I'll check them out. Hollywood. Thanks for sharing that. Class 81. I'm going to buy the $70 marquee. Now, I sure hope in 2022 that Arcade One Ups puts an effort into the quality of the marquees. There's absolutely no reason why you should have to spend $70 to get the marquees to look right. Again, when I bought my Galaga, when I bought my Street Fighter 2, um, you didn't have any backlit marquees, right? So we spent money to buy them because they didn't exist. I think the class 81 doesn't have a backlit marquee. So yeah, so you have to get that. But in this year we saw that the counter Ks now have the backlit marquee because when I bought mine, I had to modify them to uh, include that. So that's so they are making adjustments. Hope they keep doing that. I hope 2022 that the cabinets come out with the molded door, and the door should have the LED lights for the red coin, um, insert coin, and it should have buttons to insert coins from the coin door. So hopefully, Arcade One Up does that in the new year and in the future cabinets. Uh, at Games, I hope at Games fixes the where you have to log in so much into your cabinets because that's just nerve wracking. Fix that attract mode sound in the new year. Um, Lonnie says I would love some Williams Games packs for the At Games Legends Pinball for 22. Absolutely, the Williams man, they make some great pinball packs, or so hopefully they can get their hands on that. That would be fantastic. What up, Combs are us? What's happening? Welcome to the stream. We're gonna be wrapping up here pretty soon. Been on about an hour and a half. Um, where's the all of the above options in the poll? Hey, look, man. So let me go look at the poll. Uh, let's see here. So I'm going to end the poll here. So the question was in the poll, if you guys hadn't seen that, in the top of the comments, it says, "What have you added to your game rooms?" 45% of the people have added Arcade One Ups. 29% have added some At Game products. 24% have added IRKs, and 2% of us have gotten other sources this year. So I'm going ahead and end that poll. Let's get back here. Meatball Saucy says, "Buy Stuff Store, I think, had a very exciting racing cab frame coming that will be better than most commercial options. Bring your own PC, but it's very interesting to a race enthusiast like him." Um, I was saying in the stream the other day, I think with the NWO, I think that's what they're calling themselves over there. Um, and Arcade One Up, IRK, At Games, they've really kind of pushed out the door the game room solutions and those guys where you buy the shell and then you put your own PC in. It's still a market there, obviously. I think one of those two have gone out of business. The other one's still around, but it's still a market for you to be able to buy the cabinet. Because I said it from the start, you know, whatever the price was for that Street Fighter 2 when it came out, it was well worth it just for the shell itself. To have it look nice and be strong and hold up whatever I put into it was well worth the price of admission, period. So I agree. Uh, Buy Stuff has been doing some incredible stuff. Even shipping to the states, they've kept that price down. So I've definitely welcomed those guys. And I like all of the third party providers that have made um, the minor tweaks and things that we needed to these cabinets to make them our own. Um, I'm very thankful for those companies and those individuals that have stepped up and made it, whether it's 3D printing, whether they're making CNC products like Tulsa arcades and Buy Stuff, you know what I mean? Even To Die For doing his handcrafted things to make these products better for all of us. Man, it's just a great community, man. I appreciate you guys all. Um, and so I had a couple of confirmations of that. All right, guys. So I am going to end this show. I want to say thank you guys for everything that you guys have done this year. Um, Next year, I may do more live shows. I don't know. it's just hard to get in. So many people doing live shows, but I appreciate the faithful people that always comes and checks us all out. The new people that have come on and made their own shows, and it just keep increasing the content. It's been a fantastic. I don't even know why I got these headphones on. I'm not listening to anything, but I I appreciate you guys, and I hope that 2022 brings to your lives the things that you guys enjoy. That this COVID thing gets eradicated, and I hope you guys have great success. You have the discretionary funds to buy whatever cabinet you desire, and have a happy new year. And until next time and next year, I'll see you on the web. Make sure you like and subscribe, and share the video. I appreciate you guys all. Thank you guys. Peace. Anybody else? Anybody else get a shot, Ian, before I hit the end broadcast? And if you're watching this on the recording, this is for you as well.